one by one, Aussie states are stamping out gay conversion therapy.
Homosexuality is just lumped in there with alcoholism, drug addiction, all of that. It's seen as this thing that can be fixed if you submit yourself to God in the right way.
When prayer didn't fix him, Aaron was promised marriage to a woman would. At the urging of his church, he wed a friend from his congregation.
And then getting to the honeymoon suite, going to the bathroom to cry because I was like, I can't do this.
Aaron says he had no choice but to bury his feelings and fully commit to God and his teachings. He became a father and a preacher, even founding his own church.
I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, I was just done. And drove my car to this bridge and sat there for ages with this letter that I'd written to Jackie in my hand, and got to the edge of this bridge, and this woman pulled up. It was like 1 a.m, and she ran over to me and she grabbed my hand. She's like, "Stop. Nothing is worth this. I don't know what you're going through, but nothing is worth this." And she pulled me back. The next day I had to come out to my wife. We sat down in our lounge room. I said, I'm gay. We talked through it, and she's like, "We'll do what we need to do."
When Aaron finally came out publicly in 2020, his life imploded. He was sacked from his church and shunned by his community.
Do you have a moment where you open and pour a drink in the
can,
episode, or do we just pour it now?
We can just pour it now, yeah. I guess we'll just start now, but yeah.
Well, it's already recording, ready
All
to go.
right.
You just have to cut out this start bit.
Okay, cool. Well, Aaron Kelly, former pastor Aaron Kelly.
Yes.
Keep pouring. Keep drinks. We're drinking vodka soda passion fruit, right?
Yeah, ampersand.
Ampersand. That's
Extra
it.
strength. 6%ers. I don't know if I'll be okay to drive home.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be careful. But you've gone through. You're a former pastor.
Yep.
You went through theological training. You got a degree in theology. Mm-hmm. You came out in 2020 and was famously asked to step down from your position as a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
My first question is, why don't you think Jesus ever spoke about homosexuality?
I think Jesus never spoke about homosexuality because he was in a very different time, place, culture, and the culture he was in, same-sex loving relationships just didn't exist. They were in a Greco-Roman society. So the only version of homosexuality was what we see on like the Roman warrior sort of stuff, where they use it as a form of, I guess, power play, and they abuse. It's an abusive, and it's a use of another person to get your rocks off.
Yeah.
And so that's why Jesus never referred to it, because there was no need to in that culture.
Yeah. But then why do some of the Old Testament verses mention men laying with other men?
Great question. I think...
Oh, this is great because I can talk to you as a former pastor. So you're a former pastor. So you
pastor.
can answer it as a...
And I believed, though, so the evangelical conservative stuff, I believed what had always been handed down and taught about it. I never had any frame of reference to question it, because you're told not to question, right? Like, it's a huge thing. Don't question. Doubting Thomas is given such a bad rap, and we call him Doubting Thomas as though it's like a slander on him. But Jesus affirmed him for doubting. He's like, he blessed him for asking questions and questioning what everyone else was saying is the truth. Oh, Jesus is alive. Well, I'm not going to believe it till I see his hands. And he's like, blessed are you. So Doubting Thomas isn't that, he gets a bad rap, but I think doubting's good. Questioning is good.
Yeah, just a random side note, and I can already tell this is going to be full of random side notes, this conversation. But I was talking to someone who recently I was part of the church with, and the message that I really want to get across to them is like, I think with me doubting my faith and kind of investigating it, it always felt like the right thing to do. It wasn't like I was like, oh, here comes like my favorite sin. I finally get to do my favorite. Like, it wasn't like, it was like, oh no, I found this crack and I need to investigate this because I need to follow truth because the church taught me to pursue truth and righteousness and all these things.
Yeah.
And it felt like the right thing to do. It just, and then you kind of like in this like drowning well and you're like, help me. And then people will be like,
you're told to pursue truth as long as it's the truth that they're teaching.
Yeah.
It's there as long as it's their truth.
well, that's kind of like, that's our perspective. But then, but when you're in it, you're like drowning and you're like, hey, I've noticed this hole in our theology. And they're like, and they'll be like, oh, the questions, we can ask Jesus when we get there or get to heaven or something. Or what are the, like, you get like just like cliches or just left on red. So many times we've been left on red about like, why didn't Jesus return 2,000 years ago? And then it's just like, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And then I just never hear from the person. And it's just like, this is weird. Like, this is weird, man. Like you're trying to do the right thing and you kind of shun. But anyway, continue with what you were saying. So
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Sorry.
One thing I'll note, when I was younger, so I never questioned what the Bible said or what I'd been told the Bible said about sexuality because it was a sore point for me. So I didn't want to look into it because I thought either one, someone would find out that I was looking into it and it would expose my sexuality, which was in the closet, or it was just too painful because as I'd read about it, I'd feel disgusting in myself that this is something that I struggle with, right? But when I was a teenager, I remember was coming to the end of high school, started my first year of an internship, and there was this pastor who had done a course, and one of our pastors in our church, and he made us. He said, you know, that famous verse where Jesus is on the cross and he's like, Eloi, Eloi, sabachthani, or whatever it is, which is, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
We have been taught in modern Christianity that he's saying that in that moment, because he took the sin and the weight of the world on his shoulders and he absorbed our sin, that at that moment he was separated from the Father.
Yeah.
And couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
Because he was actually quoting a psalm. And in that psalm, the rest of the psalm goes on to say, but you haven't. You're here with me. Yeah. Your right hand guides me. You comfort me.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't either until I'd been brought up to believe there was hymns like the Father turns his face away. And so this youth pastor was like, he got stepped down for being a universalist. But basically he sparked this curious mind in me that was like, hang on, we've always been told this. What are you saying? How can you say that?
Yeah.
He got fired for questioning it. He's still a really faithful Christian.
Yeah.
But just his views changed a little, became a little bit more, you know what, maybe God doesn't leave sinners to just die and rot, right? Maybe he's with them too. Yeah. Maybe he's with us all. Maybe we've warped our views a little bit. So he first got me into questioning stuff.
A quick thing while I've got you. Deep Drinks is now on a semi-irregular basis. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. But while I can't be super consistent with the episode schedule, I've simplified memberships down to just one channel tier. It's basically support me with the cost of a coffee each month so I can keep making Deep Drinks. You'll get a bunch of benefits and your name will be immortalized at the end of each episode. Think about that. When future historians are referencing the greatest and most important podcasts of all time, your name could be eternally etched into its existence as a financial backer. You can also watch the extended, uncensored episodes of Deep Drinks podcast, including this one, which has a runtime of over 2 hours. After joining, just find the interview you'd like to watch and start watching. Every backer helps keep Deep Drinks alive. If that's something you'd like to do, you can do it here on YouTube or on Patreon. Links in the description.
That's interesting. I remember in ministry, internship. I did an internship as well through City Point Church.
Crazy praise.
What's crazy praise?
Oh, City Kids.
Oh.
When I was a kids pastor, I was 18 and fresh out of high school, and our kids pastor, I was her intern. She broke both her legs, and I had to take her job. I stepped in for an interim, and we based everything off City Point's kids ministry. They were fantastic. They had a song called Crazy Praise.
Yeah, I think it rings a bell. My wife did the J Juniors, Jesus Juniors, which was 3 to 6 or something. And then, and it was all, that's great. We would go down to City Point every now and again to Brisbane, and but we were up like an offshoot of them. But
in a campus,
a
franchise.
Yeah, I pulled up to one of their courses, and I pulled up to the spot that said David McDonald, and I pulled up to it because that's my name, but that was also the the CEO of the
senior
of
pastor.
Christian Outreach Center at the time. Yeah, I got a selfie with him. I might be able to find it and stuff.
so
But yeah,
funny.
I remember at a conference, I was like, got a selfie. But what was I saying? Oh, sorry. When these drinks, I'm already.
We're
I'm
already
a
in
sip
6%.
I'm a sip, and I'm like, I can't blame it. I've already done a sip. No. Yeah, we were taught in ministry college that there's that verse that we were quoting so much in church, which is like 1,000 could put, one can put 1,000 to flight and two can put 10,000 to flight or something like that. And we were taught in ministry college, it might not even be this verse because someone might fact check me and I might be wrong, but we were told in ministry college that that was actually inaccurate. It was being like facetious. It was saying like, oh, what? So you're saying if one can put 1,000 flight, two can put 10,000? But people were quoting it in church like, yes, with more numbers, just even a small add in numbers is
Multiplication.
Yeah. And we were like, but it was taken out of context. And so we learned that in ministry college. And I was like, whoa, like the Bible might not be preached perfectly from the pulpit. And yeah. And
Well, it's definitely never preached perfectly from the pulpit. It's never preached perfectly.
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. Was it even recorded perfectly? That's a whole other, that's a whole other can of worms. But so
the verses on sexuality.
verses on sexuality. Yeah.
We are going to do this.
Yeah,
aren't we?
I can already tell. Apologies, everyone.
The verses on sexuality were interesting. I don't actually remember your initial question, but I always believed what had been passed down because it was too painful to question. I only started looking into, well, what does the Bible say, because a lesbian couple started coming to our church.
And this is while you were a pastor.
This is while I was at a church that my wife and I had planted. We were about 5 years old whenever I came out, 6 years old when I came out. So still a fresh church, and it was called Fresh Church. But yeah, we'd had a lesbian couple start coming, really invested in their faith, the church community. They'd wanted to get involved, and there were limits. There were caps in our constitution that had been given to us by the denomination, caps on how involved they could get. They could work on the coffee cart, but they couldn't stand on the stage and play guitar.
I'm infuriated because it's so similar to what my friend has gone through.
Yeah.
It's
just crazy. And why couldn't they be on the stage and play guitar? Because they were on a platform, and that was seen as influencing people.
Yeah.
And then, so I questioned, well, they're not actually speaking. They're just playing guitar. Could we let them play guitar and not let them sing? So we took baby steps this whole way while they were there. So one of them did. She started playing guitar, and then she had a beautiful voice. We started letting her back up sing, and that we had to change our constitution slowly.
wow.
And our church board were fully behind that. We worked together on, well, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
There was always still a limit on they could never be leaders. So we could let them back up sing. We couldn't let her worship lead. We couldn't let her lead a team or a group. We couldn't let either of them.
Because they were in a lesbian relationship.
Because they were in a lesbian relationship. But this couple, earlier on, before we even started changing the constitution, had come to me and said that they took their faith seriously. One of the things I always said was, you're either moving towards Jesus or away from Jesus. And so as long as you are directing your life in a direction towards Jesus, you've always got a place like here. Like we want people who are, and so by you walking through the doors, even if you're not a Christian, you've walked through the doors, you're moving in a direction towards Jesus. That's what I used to preach.
Yeah.
And as your relationship with Jesus grows, you're constantly going to pivot your direction more, and you're going to get closer to him. You're going to move towards your closeness will determine how the fruit comes out in your life, right? And so they said basically, look, we want our lives to reflect Jesus. We believe in him. We love him. If our relationship or our sexuality is going to separate us from him, then and from an eternity with him, then we're willing to question that. We're really willing to give it up. But would you take us through what the Bible says about it? And that's when the can of worms started to open, because I was like, oh, I can't just hand them what I've always been told. It's time to now actually look into this for myself. There were two things I never wanted to look into theologically. Yeah. That and revelation. because my granddad scared the shit out of me with the Book of Revelation growing up.
Yeah.
Those were two things I never wanted to touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd started to look into it, started to take this seriously. Because I'm like, we're going to have to change our constitution. We're going to have to potentially leave our denomination if we drastically turn too much. So I need to take this seriously.
It is interesting that it took someone else coming to get you to look at it, because it's similar to like Colin, who you've watched the first episode of Deep Drinks. You mentioned,
Yeah.
but Colin, he was talking to me about going back in the closet, and I was like, well, first of all, I don't know if that's even a thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
well, probably is, but like, what does that mean? I was like, well, you're just gonna pretend you're not like, what does it even mean? Like, coming out of the closet, it's like I'm out, and it's like now I'm back in. It's like, well, so you just, I don't know what that means.
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
But my co-host on Queerfully Made, he went in and out of the closet a
really?
few times. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And most gay Christians have done that.
What does that mean to go back in the closet? What do you mean? Like, what? I used to be up and do you say like I'm healed or something?
Sometimes they move to a different church
And then
they just put themselves back in the
Yeah, well,
closet.
that
They just
was my
don't talk
point.
about
Is
it.
you're just kind of pretending.
Yeah. So you're still gay.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can be so in the closet that you don't even want to admit it to yourself. And that's where I was.
Yeah.
I was at that point in my sort of sexuality journey, was that the conversion practices never worked, like the praying and stuff like that. Praying the gay away never worked. This is the lot I have in life. This is the thorn in my side.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to choose to live a godly life, because it's a choice to live a godly life, and marry a woman, do all that. And that's how I lived. Even though I wasn't attracted, I was doing it was a faith of doing rather than a faith of being.
Yeah. So my friend, it was when he realized that him going back in the closet might encourage other young men or women to go back in the closet, that he realized, no, I don't want to put them through that. And then he decided to stay out. So
That's
it was
very
like,
moral of him.
Yeah, well, because he was just like, I don't want to. He was willing to like kind of like kneel under the toes of the pastor that he was good friends with and stuff. He was willing to kind of like be like, okay, I'll go back in the closet so I can volunteer in all the areas that I've been doing, and people will still, I can still attend this church. But then he realized that other people, he didn't want to put that burden on other people, that they would feel uncomfortable. So he was like, no, that was one of the reasons.
So he didn't actually believe that his sexuality was wrong. He was willing to go back in the closet so that he could serve.
Well, he kind of got a lot of flack when he started playing with the idea of coming out. He got a lot of flack from members. Like, he was really involved in the church, not in a official role, but he would have lunch there every day, like with the staff and everything like that. And then when he kind of came out, it was like what it was
because if he was comfortable with, if he was wanting to not go back in the closet because it would stop others from doing the same thing, and he didn't want to put others through that, there's an element in there that makes me think, well, he obviously knew that was wrong. At the deep down, he knew that going back into the closet, or anyone going back into the closet.
That's interesting. So it's like, so he's going against his own morals.
I'm protecting everyone else by doing it. Like, if I do it, I'm going to hurt other people.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, whenever I started studying the sexuality scriptures, I thought I'd arrive in the exact same place that every other pastor had taught. I thought this was going to be like everything else the church teaches, that I'd arrive in the same place. And so I'd be like, yes, it's a sin.
Yeah.
And so I thought that if we took this lesbian couple through this, because they were willing to give up their relationship, we would have a win. We'd have a testimony, a story we could tell of success. It would grow our church. So for me, I didn't have the same moral.
No, that's funny though. That's really interesting though, because I needed you to let you get back to the story, but for me as well, like, I always went on my investigation to, people say to disprove God. It was never to disprove God or anything, but I went into my investigation kind of trying to determine whether or not I had justifiable reasons to warrant my belief. And I fully expected that I was going to prove evolution wrong, that I was going to say that young earth creationism was A-okay, that, the Bible was infallible. I truly believed that I was just going to, I was going to fix up these cracks that I was finding in my belief system, and that I needed to go into it as a unbiased observer. I needed to not go into it as a Christian believing that I knew the answers, and I needed to go in unbiased. And when I did that, the cracks just kept getting bigger until eventually I was in like the Grand Canyon going, there's a huge crack, and so yeah. So anyway, continue with what you were saying. So these lesbians in your church, and you started the studies with them. What are the studies? How do the studies start and go?
So I just started going through the passages that typically people go through, right?
Yeah.
So that my side of the fence now, the gay side, the LGBT rainbow alphabet, we call them the clobber passages.
Yeah.
Because that's what's been used to clobber us.
I never heard that term until this morning when I was using ChatGPT to look them up, and it said clobber verses. I was like, what's
the clobber verses.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's the 6 verses or the 6 passages or references in the Bible that people use, and there's 3 in the Old, 3 in the New. It's like, so if they were all in the Old, you might be able to justify it and say, "Oh, Jesus did away with it," but then there's some in the New Testament that you go, "Oh, well, we've got to tread carefully here because this is New Testament, and that's what the church today bases their lives on, right?" So, but they still love to go back to the Old Testament. They still love to claim these other verses. So there's famously Sodom and Gomorrah, right? I mean, the word sodomy, anal sex, comes from this biblical passage.
Which is weird though, because I think that don't who isn't doing anal sex every now and again? You know what I mean? Like in regards to like there are more heterosexual couples engaging in like butt stuff than there is like gay people. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? That's all we can do.
But like, do you know what I mean? Like, what is it? How many people are gay? Like, what? 10%, 15% of the population?
Yeah. So there's more people.
Like, not what is it? Not by per capita or whatever. Yeah. We're getting like
not relatively
absolute numbers. Yeah, absolute numbers. Yeah, not everyone. Okay, there's a large amount of people who do butt stuff.
Back then they didn't because it was seen as dirty.
Well, yeah, it would be though. Like they didn't have showers or anything.
Yeah,
like,
they couldn't douche.
Yeah.
But also it was like back then you couldn't have sex with a woman if she was on her period. So they had very ritualistic cleanliness rules. That controlled a lot of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so you can understand why sodomy heterosexually or homosexually wasn't allowed. But Sodom and Gomorrah is famously used because it was just this sexually perverse city, and the angels were men, apparently. And so these men from the city wanted to have sex with these angels, and so we bypass so many things that are wrong with Sodom and Gomorrah story. In order to claim that this is saying homosexuality is wrong.
Yeah.
Like the fact that a father was willing to protect the angels and send his daughters out to be raped.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to scoot over that.
Yeah.
So you can boldly claim from your pulpits that homosexuality is a sin.
I know, and it's funny that you start off with Sodom and Gomorrah for this lesbian couple because they would probably do the least amount of butts.
Well, no, this was just for my personal study. Yeah. This wasn't for them. But they would do like to strap it on and go for it, right?
Sure, but do you see how even there, like people will try and use Sodom and Gomorrah as like, therefore all same sex, there's the first thing, all same sex stuff.
Yes.
But it's like, wait, hang on, wait, lesbians.
Well, there's less mention of lesbianism in the Bible than there is, right? Like, it's always as a man lays with another man. That's wrong. Rah, 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 rah.
And
it's just because women didn't get looked at, basically. They weren't considered in the Bible.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what you meant by looked at then. I was like...
they're just not considered.
Dan McClellan will also kind of points out that it was usually there was only sinful for the bottom. So it was only considered a sinful act for the bottom in the
Old Testament.
Yeah, in the Old, or maybe the New Testament. But it was the receptacle role because they're getting put in the position of a woman, the penetrated.
Yeah, so I don't think that's what's necessarily the sin, but societally that was looked down upon. That you are in the women's position,
Yeah.
right? And that's why the Roman culture used it as a form of control and power and abuse. I think if you actually read the New Testament verses that talk to that, it is calling the act of using that power and abusing someone as the sin. So the actual top role is the
Interesting.
is the sin. So the Sodom and Gomorrah thing, very quickly you can read that and go, okay, it actually never mentions homosexuality once. Every other time Sodom and Gomorrah is mentioned in the Bible, which is about 20, never does it refer to homosexuality. Jesus himself said that Sodom and Gomorrah's sins were that they were inhospitable to guests, or they didn't welcome the guest in the right way. Instead, they treated them badly. So you can safely say, okay, Sodom and Gomorrah is not, if you use proper exegesis and hermeneutics, exegesis being the digging deeper into what is the original language, the original audience, the original culture, and then hermeneutics, well, how do we apply that to our lives today, knowing that we've done the right exegetical study? Sodom and Gomorrah is not about homosexuality. So there's one of the 6 out. That is all about being hospitable, treating strangers with kindness, not being using sex for power and to abuse people. Done. Then there's the Levitical stuff. So that's in Genesis. That's the reason I started there, because it was the first mention out of the 6. Second mention is the Levitical laws, where it says it's an abomination for man to lie with man. Now that's pretty clear. But in these same passages, it also says that it's an abomination it uses that same word abomination. It says it's an abomination to eat pork. I know a lot of Christians who love a bacon and egg McMuffin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Bacon though, right? Yeah.
Pork crackling. Like
Christmas ham is
Christmas. Don't.
Yeah, it's sacrilegious not to do Christmas ham for some people. You know,
I might like the pork sausage, but you all like pork. And it also talks about like wearing blended cotton in like fibers in your garments.
Yeah.
In the same way and in the same passage as those verses. So very quickly you can go, well, we cannot say that those don't apply to us today because Jesus set us free from the law, and not say that verse isn't included. And then some people say, well, you got to look more holistically at the whole Bible, and that's why, because there's New Testament references to it, that we can say that law still applies. And so that's why you got to jump to the New Testament and look at those New Testament law, the verses or passages. And again, there's holes, which I'd never heard of until I started looking into the question. What does the Bible say about it? Yeah.
So this is interesting. I want to get into these New Testament holes. But take us back a little bit to when, because I'm just kind of imagining you looking into these for the first time. At that time, did you know you were gay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew I was gay when I was like 12.
Yeah. So were you just kind of like, oh my God, like were you like, holy shit, like because that would have been kind of earth shattering in a way when you started to notice. It actually took getting past the 6 verses. The 6 verses, for some reason, it didn't really rock me. Yeah.
As much as I thought, like now I look back, I'm surprised it didn't rock me as much.
Yeah.
Right. What rocked me at the end was, okay, all the 6 verses don't say homosexuality, but God created a man and a woman in Genesis, right? Yeah. And created them to multiply, give birth, populate the earth. And so I'd finished with the 6 passages and got to that point and was like, well, we could still see that the first original couple there's no actual examples, blah, blah, blah. And I read this book called God and the Gay Christian by Matthew Vines. And it was the first time I saw that the use of the restrictions that are often given to Christian gay people are either find a girl that ticks all the boxes, you're just not sexually attracted to her, and marry her because that's the godly thing to do because God has blessed marriage. He loves marriage.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah. So do that. If you can't do that, stay celibate. And Matthew Vines in his book said, and it was the first time I'd seen this, and this is what broke me. He said that before God created a woman for man, he'd gone through everything and said he created light and it was good. He created animals and it was good. He created the land. It was good. Everything was good, 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 good. The very first thing that God said wasn't good was man being alone. And what the church teaches about celibacy is that some people are called to be celibate. Monks and some people are called to be celibate. They're never called to have sex, have a relationship. But not everyone is called to be celibate. And you would never say that all heterosexual, like you would never say to a heterosexual person, you're called to be celibate. You would never tell them. They would have to really identify as that, right?
Yeah, I know.
You could never tell that from the pulpit. Like if I'm just imagining prophesying that over someone, like as a pastor, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a death sentence.
I know. It's also weird though, because I remember looking at the scriptures and being like, it's better for, Paul would say it's better not to marry if you can, because the world was coming in any moment.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
2,000 years later.
And they better not marry because before the end of their life, it's better not to marry, right? Is what Paul says. But then, so I remember thinking like, well, why does the church celebrate weddings? Like, why isn't it just like, you couldn't hold out? You couldn't hold out? Like, Paul says it's better not to, but you did it anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but I think that means less to them than God's establishment of the first covenant. That covenant relationship is really important to them. And that's why it took them so, they still don't see gay marriage as a thing. Yeah. And they fought so vehemently against it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what broke me was this mention that it's not good for man. The first thing God said was not okay, was that it's not good for man to be alone. And we are telling a whole society of people, you either have to marry a woman that you're not attracted to and live a secret, horrible life where you just hate yourself, or be alone. And I broke down. Like when I read this part of the book, that's what broke me. I'd gone through all the theological stuff and it was like, okay, well, I'm here now anyway. I'm here and I still believe the Bible is God's word. I still believe like I'm called to be a pastor, all this stuff. And it wasn't until I saw that part of the book and I was just, that was the undoing of me, ministry, my life as I knew it.
Really? So even though you were married. To a woman,
yep.
That didn't scratch that itch, I guess?
No, because the way he wrote about it was that, and the way I even interpreted how he'd written it was, I'm stuck in this marriage. I've done her a disservice, right? Like, we were not having sex. Yeah. She couldn't have been satisfied in our relationship, and I knew my ex-wife wasn't satisfied. Like, she often would question why we weren't having sex, and I'd always be sick with the latest, I've come down with a bit of a cold, or like I was always unwell, to try and get out of it.
So,
I'd brought someone else into it. Like it was just heartbreaking. Once I got to that point, I was like, I've brought someone else into this. She feels alone. Yeah. Like
again,
we're still alone. Yeah. We're just alone together, and it's not right. I've brought someone into this.
Oh man, how do you have sex with someone if you're not attracted to them? Because this is like I think, if someone was like, you've got an hour to have sex with a man and climax and get it, and otherwise the room's going to explode or something. Weird hypothetical, David. But anyway, maybe I could do it. I'd have to be really in my own head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot, because I'm not attracted to men. Well,
Yeah.
not yet anyway.
It was hard. Like our wedding night was hard for me. I cried a lot in the lead up and post, because I didn't think of her the whole time.
Yeah. Was it still something? Is it still? And if this is too much, you know, of course, we'll cut it out. But was it something that you could like could you like get yourself in the mood in a way by thinking in your head, and you get an erection, and then you just kind of do the act?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I've had friends who've been closeted and in a relationship, the same situation, and they've got lots of kids, and I'm like, how?
Oh yeah.
I guess it's a bit of a juvenile question, but it's like, it must be brutal to do that. Like,
I got married because I was told that it would heal my sexuality.
yeah,
That's the reason I got into the relationship with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
The reason I eventually got married was because I was told God created marriage and it's a miraculous covenant. Like us Pentecostals,
yeah,
we were psycho.
yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
Like,
yeah. People refer to us as a cult, and I was like, no. But then the more and more I kind of explain it to people who don't know what it is, it sounds more.
and there are elements of Pentecostalism that I still love to this day. Like I still look back and I'm like, oh, I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that. Like elements of just that believing, like, and having the, like,
Yeah.
I'm a very big optimist, even in my life today,
Yeah.
right? And some people I know are just like, they're so negative.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we're taught not to be negative in Pentecostalism,
yeah.
right? Believe the best. Believe the best in other people. Believe
Yeah.
the best about your situation. Like it was this power of your words and all that sort of stuff. Certain elements of that I still think are true. I just don't maybe push a faith element on it.
Yeah.
So there's elements of Pentecostalism that wasn't crazy, but the element of some of the miraculous stuff that we went to extremes with. I'll give you an example. We ran prayer ministry in our church, and I was only telling some friends about this the other day. It's very, very embarrassing that I let this happen in my church. So
okay.
we had a prayer ministry program. People would come because they just felt stuck. They felt like they couldn't move forward in life, and they'd be led through with two people and themselves in a room, sometimes through written prayers or something. Like it's almost like a counseling session, but with God and the prophetic. And so this one girl came and she felt stuck, and her life was just not going the way she wanted it to go and the way she thought it would go, blah, blah. The woman running the prayer ministry asked her about the bracelet that she was wearing.
Oh no.
And it was this Cartier. It was very expensive. It's like a cuff. So there's no latch or release. It's screwed on.
Okay.
You can't take it off
Yeah.
without like a tool or something.
Yeah. Yep.
So this woman running the prayer ministry tells this girl that she has cuffed herself. She's bound herself to another person, like a soul tie.
Yeah.
And that this is a symbolic, like it's a handcuff. And so because you've done this, you've
Yeah.
tied yourself to someone other than Jesus.
Yep.
We need to destroy the bracelet.
Oh no. Yeah. This is so.
And in this session, they destroy this very expensive bracelet.
how expensive? I don't know.
I don't know, Cartier though. It's like
Yeah.
it
Expensive.
must be a few $1,000s.
Really?
Oh, at least. It's Cartier.
I don't-
It was
why?
a Kardashian thing. All the Kardashians were wearing them.
whoa.
So like, I look back at that and I think that's just
heirloom,
super spiritual Pentecostal crap, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That is nothing. It's not doing anything to her. That bracelet. That wasn't the thing. But symbolically, it really freed her up in life.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, she psychologically told herself, "I've cut this off."
Yeah.
So her life was better.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's so. Yeah.
But it would have been better if we just had have told her there's this other thing.
Yeah.
We could have told her anything and didn't have to link it to that.
Yeah.
And she would have a few $1,000s on her wrist still.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. I'm at the stage in my life where I don't. If someone tells me they're a Christian or whatever, I used to want to like challenge them in a way, or not because I wanted them to change, but because I had questions that I wanted answered, and then because I was like, I want to. If I'm wrong, I want to know it, and also like I'm interested in what question they, how they'll tackle this question.
Yeah.
But now I don't do that. I don't talk to, I won't, unless they ask me to challenge their faith or something, I'll nod and smile when they talk to me about, some prayer that they're doing or something. I won't challenge them unless they want to engage in the conversation. And I'll be very explicit.
They're challenging.
I'll be like, hey, are you comfortable talking about things that might be counter to your faith or whatever? Like, I'll ask them explicitly, unless they're being like anti-LGBT, anything like that, like
look at you little ally.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that, or racism, or anything that's like using the Bible or whatever to push down on marginalized groups. I get like furious, and it's all because of my mate Colin. Like I just saw what he went through, and much like how you had to look through, you just started to look through the Bible when you had that lesbian couple come to your church. I felt the same way with Colin, because Colin said to me one day, I don't know if this was in the episode, but he said to me one day, what happens when my parents die? Do I just kill myself? And I said, why would you say that? And he said, because I got no one to live for, no one loves me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, like, okay, that was like, for me, that was a red flag, because I knew he had depression and he'd struggled with suicidal thoughts before. And he said that one time. And then another time I said, oh man, thinking back to ministry college, I was like, what would you do if you could go back in time and talk to yourself 10 years ago when we were in ministry college? And he said, I tell myself to kill myself. And I said, what? And I said, and then I said, what, why would you say? He said, I tell myself that nothing ever gets better, that you're going to be the same, and just kill yourself. And I was like, well, like he said it so flippantly that it was like shocking. He kind of tied it up nicely that he said, but asked me what I'd say 20 years ago. And I said, okay, what would you say 20 years ago? And he said, I'd tell myself to seriously reconsider my Christian faith and, just be out and happy. Which is, it's a horrible place to be in, because your whole worldview is around this God belief and this anyway. And so it was those two moments where I was like, I said to Amy, or maybe I said it to myself, and I was like, I've got to like take this thing seriously. Like, and I was like, I need to look into these quote unquote clobber verses seriously, because if I'm wrong and the church discards this teaching in 100 years, like they have with, women having to wear headscarves when praying, or women speaking in church, or all the other stuff they just decide to discard, even though it's explicit. Yeah. I'm gonna feel like a big dickhead when I'm like 80 years old and I don't have my buddy Colin with me because he's left this earth early. Oh, how ridiculous. So so I was like, we got to look into this. And then when we did that, the more and more we did, the more and more like there's just no answers.
Well, and the more and more you look into stuff, I think, the more and more you're the doubting Thomas. And I think doubting Thomas was the first deconstruction. The first person to deconstruct is
that's interesting.
Like not to just believe what everyone else was saying, but to question something. That's a great argument for deconstructionism right there, I think. And when I first came out, I came out saying I still love God, I still love my wife and kids, and I still love the church. And I'm going to hold to those three. That's my promise. Shouldn't have made that promise, because very quickly I didn't want to go to church anymore. Luckily I came out during COVID, and in Melbourne, we were locked away.
Yeah.
We were in prison.
Yeah.
But so what was already going to be isolating for me was isolating for everyone. It was great.
Yeah. Because
I wasn't watching on as my friends were all still going to church. That was fantastic. So I healed during that time. But coming back out of lockdowns and COVID stuff and churches starting to meet again, I thought, I should start going back to church. And I was living quite close to the city, right around the corner from a Hillsong campus, so I could walk there. And I did. I started going semi-regularly, like every now and again when I needed to, and I would walk in, but people knew who I was. People would look at me with this air of judgment. Like I may have been reading into it, may have been looking at their stares and thinking they're judging me. Maybe they were probably just thinking, oh, he's here to spy, or they were concerned about me being there, and that's why they were giving me that stare, right? Like we were probably judging each other from afar.
He's going to throw a gay bomb and everyone's
what's he doing here, right? but I couldn't go anywhere in Melbourne really. Like I would slip in the back, worship, listen to the message, slip out before while they were doing the altar call, so I didn't have to talk to anyone. I did that semi-regularly, and I just hated it because I realised I can't be involved here. I can't do...
And how is it going to a church?
Like-
After you've been involved and then going back to a church? And
Oh,
you're
you
like,
can't.
Someone should be getting the pulpit now. Why isn't someone getting the pulpit now? Or
Yeah.
like-
And there was a messy stage for Hillsong for a little bit, right? Like, they lost some of the direction they had, and there was a few times I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Like, But anyway, so I stopped going to church very quickly. So that promise I fell out the window. The thing though that I didn't think would happen when I wrote that statement was that the tapestry that was my faith was this beautiful tapestry. It was this picture perfect, beautiful thing I could hang on a wall. And then this sexuality thread was always a bit loose, and I pulled it, and the whole tapestry came and unraveled. It was this mess on the floor. And I'd said to a friend very early on, 6-7 months into me coming out and having this tapestry thing happen and my faith sort of being unraveled, I said, my goal with this, I don't want to be like all the other deconstructionists where they deconstruct and then it's just a mess and they're angry and they're bitter and they have nothing. I'm deconstructing with the idea that I'm going to reconstruct something.
Yeah.
I just don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I didn't reconstruct anything. And it hurt. It was confusing. It was a huge part of my life. Like it was my whole life revolved around my faith and my church, right?
Yeah.
32 years. I gave everything for it. So for it not to be there anymore was huge. It was like this void, which is what they describe in every altar call. You've got this void, right? Yeah. But I had this void because that's what I'd created my life around.
Yeah.
But I started doing a teaching degree and did a subject about reconciliation, like Aboriginal culture in teaching. Very quickly I learned I didn't want to be a teacher because I don't want to be in a classroom full of kids.
Yeah.
But this subject was run by an amazing woman who was a senior pastor in a church, had a blog going, basically left the church because she was an ally. She was pro-LGBT. Huge church. Nicole Connor, she was the pastor of City Life with her husband. Like she was a big deal back in the day. Wrote this blog. I'd been reading her blog. I'm in her class at this uni online because it's COVID. I'm the only student. She's the lecturer. We jump on the first call and she's like, well, I only jumped on just to let you know that you can choose another subject because you're the only person. But if you want to keep doing this, we can still do it. Just be you and me. And I didn't know that she was going to be my lecturer and I'd been reading her blog. I'm like,
Whoa.
oh, no. I want to keep doing this
That's
subject.
a God thing.
Oh, yeah, right? Like it's a divine appointment.
Yeah, divine appointment.
Yeah, divine appointment. But so we did the subject. And in that subject, I learned a lot about Aboriginal culture. And one of the things was we watched this session with one of the elders from an Aboriginal community who told their Dreamtime story. And it was the first time, like she was watching as I was listening to this, like on this Zoom call. And it was the first time I'd questioned the rest of the Bible.
Really?
As being the only way.
Yeah.
So I'd still had my faith up until this point. I was gay and I was out. But it was the first time I questioned, is this the only way? And it was because he told their Dreamtime story he wasn't a Christian. He wasn't using the Bible. He was literally telling their Dreamtime story. And he talked about how Bunjil the eagle created the world, created the earth, created humans, and told those humans, be fruitful and multiply, basically. And I was like, okay. And I sort of laughed.
Yeah.
Like, they stole that.
Yeah.
Even though they're millions of years old.
Yeah. Like way older. Yeah,
way
yeah,
older.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of years old, sorry. Like way older. And then he talked about how in their Dreamtime, the version of their Dreamtime, more and more people filled. They broke off into different tribes. The tribes all started to fight with one another. I'm not doing this justice, by the way.
No.
But it's very sped up,
enjoying it.
and my fiance is Aboriginal. Kill me. I'm not doing it justice.
Yeah.
No, but basically, all the tribes start fighting with one another. Bunjil comes down, dips into the Yarra River. The river was another thing. I was just like, because the mention of the river in the Bible is very Christian. Like there's songs about going to dance in the river, and the Jordan River is where people got healed, where Jesus was baptized, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So the river thing, like as a ex-pastor, just boom.
Yeah.
So Bunjil dives down into the river, comes out of the river walking like a man, calls all the elders of all the tribes together.
Oh my God.
And they have like this tribal council meeting, sort of like Survivor style, right? Like who's got to go? Whose name are we putting down? And says, okay, tell me why you're fighting with tribe A, you're fighting with tribe B. Now tribe C, why are you fighting with tribe F?
Yeah.
They all lay out their case, and Bunjil's like, you've all done something wrong.
Yeah.
You all deserve the punishment all of you want to give each other. It's only going to end in you all killing each other, and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'll take that punishment. Kill me.
No way. I didn't know this is so... Okay.
It's fucked.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So he's like, kill me. And my mouth at that point went like this. And Nicole's looking and she just laughed.
Because she knew.
She knew at that moment what had just happened in my brain. I was broke.
Yeah.
Like I was like, does not compute. Like, and they kill Bunjil. They bury him in Healesville, which is a place here in Victoria. He turns into a mountain, Mount Zion. Like more references, right? Like I'm just like, oh my God.
We're so simple with human species.
There is this mountain here in Victoria that they call Bunjil, and it's the shape of an eagle. Like it's it's iconic. This mountain grows when they bury him in that spot. And now this could be just me adding evangelism to it, like being evangelistic. Yeah. I think he said 3 days later.
Okay.
Bunjil burst forth out of the mountain as the eagle again.
Yeah.
Which is why I was more shocked, because like they've even got the rising again.
Yeah.
Right? And the people lived in harmony on the land.
Yeah.
And for me, I was just like, okay, oh my God, what's going on here? He gets off the class and she looks at me and she goes, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We're going to end this today and you can just sit in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate you.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That then sparked me in talking to all my other friends from other religions, right? I had a friend who was Hindu, and one day we were going to the snow and this friend said to me, oh, are you from the version of Christianity that had miracles? I was like, yeah, I was Pentecostal. We believed in miracles, like blind receive sight, dead will walk, lame will walk, dead will rise again. And I was like you're Hindu, like, do you guys have miracles? Yeah. And I still had some sort of elitism in that, Christians, we own miracles.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And he's like, oh no, we had miracles all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? You did not have miracles. We had the blind seeing. You didn't.
So did he have miracles today, or like they have?
Yeah, no, they still have miracles in their community that he was from. And then he started to tell me that about their like characters from history. They've got Krishna is basically Jesus.
Yeah, there's
Krishna is Jesus Christ, right?
I'm reading the Mahabharata at the moment, which is like all about there's so much. It's longer than the Iliad, and it's 10 times longer than the Iliad and the Odyssey. There's a lot written about it. You can find things, but people do make that connection.
I'm not smart. Like I've got an uncle who I love and respect. He's still a Christian. Yeah. Like he was one of the first people I told I was gay because I knew he would love me and accept me, and we're still really close to this day. He's a scientist. He is one of the smartest people I know. I am not smart.
Yeah.
Like I don't claim to be.
No, I feel you.
Right? And I don't think smart people become pastors, honestly.
No. Well, maybe not. They're probably like a scholar or something. I
I loved taking the Bible seriously but I think there's a limit to my I'm not smart like a scientist, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'll ever become like an apologist or a philosopher or anything like that because I'm just not like that way inclined. But I realized really quickly the more I looked into other religions, there were two end results for me. We're either as humanity only so creative that we've all come up with the same narratives just with a little bit of a different spice and flavor, or there is a higher power and that higher power has shown itself or revealed itself to us as humanity in the ways we needed it at the time. And so I went around looking at all these different religions, not because I wanted to be converted by them, just because I was genuinely interested. And they all have this same flavor of same stories, different names, same themes. And I came back to the Bible. I was like, what does God say he is or they are? If we want to be...
Yeah, or she is too.
Yeah. They, them.
Yeah,
Like
they,
just-
them. Yeah.
And I just kept coming back to that passage where it's like, God is love. And then I was like, I never thought of this as a Christian pastor because I think I was told not to think out the box. And Bible college, you're taught from a Christian perspective, right? Evangelical Christianity, you're taught that that's the only way. I flipped that for the first time ever. If God is love, then the same can be said backwards. Love is God. And for the first time, I was just like, you know what? That's my God.
Yeah.
My God isn't a man. My God isn't like Jesus isn't the only way. Maybe I was shown what love is through Jesus and his life and the stories about him and the Christian faith. I was introduced to the concept of love through that. But my life has become so much more than just this Christian faith now. It's become about love, and love is so much bigger than what I ever thought it was in the church. Love in the church was saving people from hell. And I think for a long time as humanity, we probably needed that version of Christianity because there was, for one reason or another, we needed that. I think we've come past it. I think we're at a place where now hell is what we're living in.
Yeah.
And we just need to love each other. Like love is God.
Yeah,
for me.
it's almost, there's this Buddhist story, I think it's Buddhist, where a bunch of blind people are touching an elephant and they're all describing the elephant, but they're describing different parts. So that one's like, it's got a sharp trunk, like they're describing the trunk, well, not the trunk, the tusks. Then someone else is describing the trunk, someone else is describing a leg, the tail, the belly. And they're all describing different parts of, and they're all getting it a little, they're all right, but they're all getting a little wrong because they're not seeing the full picture. And that's how I think Buddhism describes, or maybe it's not Buddhism, but something describes like how you look at religions or philosophies. I tend to, that's a nice idea and everything, but I tend to kind of think that what you're saying is, I like what you said there where it's love. And what I got from that, like God is love or your God is love, is I think that these things are just personifications or like stories that we've kind of told and tell to deal with our uncertainty in the universe, like your purpose, meaning and stuff. Also, like to explain these intense emotions that and psychological events. Like, you know, you get a schizophrenic dude who's seen stuff, he writes some stuff down, and he's convincing enough and charismatic enough, he'll get a following. Yeah. But also, I'm not saying that all religious leaders are like that, but you know, there's complex stuff going on in the world,
100%.
in the universe, and in our minds. And I think these are stories that help us kind of make sense of the universe and culture that we're a part of. I mean, it's no coincidence that when the Buddha became enlightened, he taught reincarnation because he was in a culture that everyone believed in reincarnation. Yeah. And it's no wonder that, you know, Jesus, when he started his ministry, that he taught the ministry of his, you know, where he... you know, Judaism or the Hebrews at the time, you know? So I don't know, like I think everyone's just trying to work it out. And I think we've gone too far when we start killing each other and blowing each other up and hating on
Haven't
each
we?
other. Yeah, and it's sad.
And that's the reason I said I'm not smart enough, or I'm not smart, is I don't feel like I'm smart enough to arrive at a place where I'm bold enough to say there isn't something.
Yeah.
But it's not hurting anyone for me to say that something's love.
Yeah.
Because if love is my end goal, then no one should get hurt in that process, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So,
We were going to talk about. I want to talk about your religious beliefs,
yep.
but I'm kind of interested now in your slut phase.
We can get there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's very easy to get there.
Okay.
From
good.
God is love.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So well, actually, that is a good point. So God is love. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go through? And you experienced the love of a woman, but it's not the kind of love you wanted.
Oh,
When you first experienced the love of a man.
Well, yeah, I realized whenever I came out, actually, and I told our denomination. So the first person I told was Jackie, my ex-wife, and she was very understanding. We're still really good friends to this day. I think it was because a lot of it made sense, right? Like I told you before, we hadn't really had sex a lot in our marriage. So I think a lot of it was just like, oh, there's not something wrong with me.
Yeah.
There's not something wrong with our relationship. And because I'd never acted on my sexuality, apart from little things I did when I was a teenager, like experimenting, truth or dare stuff, the most I'd done is kissed a guy and a couple of other things when I was a teenager. Nothing in our relationship. And so I'd never been unfaithful to her. So she was very like, oh, this is good. It's not a reflection of who I am or our relationship. It's just we're not compatible. He's not attracted to me, and he never has been. We went to our denomination next to tell the leaders of the denomination, and I sat down with the leader of the Australian Christian churches, who basically told me that they were stripping my credentials from me, that I couldn't be the pastor of the church anymore, and basically then told the rest of the denomination that I'd been unfaithful to my wife, which is why we wrote our statement about the I love God, I love Jackie, and I love the church, to make it clear that, hang on, I have not been unfaithful. They would have seen that as like a more of a like a. They might have even seen that as like, well, like a nice thing to do. Like he's just been unfaithful. We're not going to out him as being gay or like they're just crazy. I think that's nastier.
Well, no, it is.
Like because people were going to see that I was out and proud.
Yeah,
they knew I was coming out.
Yeah,
that I think what they were trying to do is demonize me because I hadn't cheated on my ex, and hadn't had an affair, hadn't had sex. And they weren't sure if I was going to get into a relationship with a man, right? I was just saying, I'm going to come out as gay. And I think I can be a Christian and be gay. That's what I told them.
Yeah, and they were like, no, you can't.
So I think they're so threatened by it that that's the narrative they wanted to push.
Yeah.
They were very careful about using the word unfaithful.
Yeah.
Because I pushed back. I went to them and I was like, you can't tell people I was unfaithful. I wasn't unfaithful. And they said, well, you sat in our office and said that you and Jackie were going to end your relationship because you were gay. You were being unfaithful to your wedding vows.
Yeah, and you're like, that's not.
I was like,
every other person. I can't stand it.
It's deceptive.
Yeah.
It's not dishonest. It's the truth.
Yeah,
I was being unfaithful to my wedding vow.
That's another word I need to add into my vocabulary because so many apologists and Christians I know are deceptive, but they're technically telling the truth.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So it was deceptive because they knew. In saying that, they knew what people. As soon as you say the word unfaithful, you know where people's minds go.
Yeah, you and Emily.
Yeah, me and
Margaret.
a guy. Because now I was coming out.
Yeah.
So by saying I was unfaithful, they are saying Aaron's sleeping with a man.
Yeah, and also like your wife caught you guys in the act.
There's all these narratives that people would come up with then. So we had to play catch up because we heard someone messaged me and said, "Hey, really sorry to hear about everything and really disappointed to hear that you'd be unfaithful to Jackie. But if you do need someone to talk to," I was like, hang on, unfaithful?
Yeah.
Let's take a step back. So hadn't done anything with another man. We end things. The first relationship, the first person I slept. So I got on Grindr.
Yeah. yeah.
The first guy I sleep with, I then end up being in a relationship with for a couple of years because my purity culture brain,
Of course, yeah.
thinks I've slept with this guy. Why did I do that? Like, why didn't I just go on a nice date? Like, why didn't I try and stay pure?
Yeah.
Like so now I'm feeling guilty again for all this other like shit that I shouldn't have been feeling guilty about, right? So I got in this relationship that was just not good for either of us. He had his own stuff that he was dealing with.
I imagine there's a lot of that in the gay community, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so both of us weren't out. Like, in fact, sorry, I was now out. He still couldn't be out.
Yeah.
So we're in this very toxic relationship that wasn't good.
But
it just wasn't healthy.
Well,
but I felt like I needed to marry this person.
Yeah. No,
and we weren't compatible for marriage.
Yeah.
So we stayed together for a little while. A year and a bit into our relationship, we decided to go open relationship because I'd never been with anyone else. So I was like, I need to experiment.
Yeah. And they call it slow divorce for a lot of people. I hate it now.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It was toxic, but
because everyone thinks like, gay folks are just like, Wednesday night it's orgy night. Colin was very much like, and I might have to blur this out, but Colin, he had a couple of one-night stands and he didn't find them very fulfilling. He wanted relationships and stuff. And he actually started thinking, maybe I'm asexual. And I was like, no, dude, like, I think if I wasn't with Amy and I just had random hookups, like, don't get me wrong, I love boobs and stuff. I love the action, but I wouldn't get much out of it. But
I think it's because of our wiring
maybe
as ex-Pentecostals and the purity culture. I think it doesn't fill like I'm in a beautiful relationship now. I feel, and people say to me, oh, like, you're closed? I'm like, yeah, of course we are.
Yeah.
Like we're engaged, we're getting married, and I can't see myself needing to fill any desire outside of that, right? Like I'm really satisfied.
He's filled that hole, pun intended.
He fills that. He fills that hole.
The drinks have caught up. But like what must that, because you're married, 12 years? And how old were you when you like then come out? Now, how old would you have been? Like,
I was 32 when I came out.
Man,
the first time I had sex with a man, first time,
that would have been
glorious.
My
goodness, it made sense.
Yeah, it made
right?
sense.
Like I wasn't thinking about it anymore. Like I was actually in the moment and enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Every time I had sex before that, I couldn't be in the moment and enjoy the moment. I was thinking about something else. Finally, I was like, oh, this is what sex is meant to be.
It's such a shame that you went so long that you couldn't, you weren't able to experience that.
Oh.
But it must have been like getting into it must have been like living your whole life in like the freezing Alps and then getting into a warm bath finally and being like, this is what everyone's talking about.
This is wow.
Yeah.
Well, but it was the same with like getting drunk for the first time because I'd never been drunk.
Oh, wow.
And trying some other substances for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So you went through a slut phase, it sounds like, after, or like a
in the open relationship, and then after we broke up, a little bit of a let's let the hair down. Because I'd finally deconstructed as well.
Yeah.
So like, I now no longer had that purity culture belief. I now no longer thought that I'm going to hell if I do this, that I'm going to be separated from God if I do this. It was so liberating.
That is correct. So what's your partner's name? Sorry?
Hayden.
When you and Hayden like have sex, make love, whatever you call it, pork. I call it porking and Amy hates it. But you want to pork? And she's like, no, you've just lost all your chances. But like when you guys are,
guilt?
So for me, the first 5-10 years of, or even maybe sometimes now actually, but the good first 5 years of our relationship, 9 times out of 10, I'd have anxiety before we had sex or after we had sex. 9 times out of 10. Only 1 time out of 10 I would go, oh, that was great. Like before, I was happy the whole way through that experience. Because for me, like I had my relationship with my sexual expression was masturbate or watch porn, feel really guilty, message my friends, ask God for forgiveness, watch porn, feel guilty, ask for forgiveness. And it was this loop of like constant shame spirals. And eventually I would like masturbate or watch porn, and then I would stay in that zone for like half a day or something, where I'd do it like 4 or 5 times. Like I'd be a maniac. Like, what is it?
I was the same.
Hungry man.
When I was in straight, I was the same with porn because it was the only way I could.
Yeah, but you stay in this like shame zone, and then you get out of it like you're a drunk that's like you're an alcoholic that's picked up a drink for the first time, and then you stay drunk for a little while, and then you.
That's
get
what
back
a
out
lot
it.
of guys who are gay and Christian who have secret sex, and then
they go away for like a bender or something.
Yeah, like it's they. So me and my co-host Ben from our podcast, we have we find this relative ground on the fact that he was in the church, like a leader in the church, whatever, and on a
So Ben was as well.
yeah.
Wow.
And
so
he would.
It's just a good time to plug your podcast. Queerfully
Made.
Really good podcast.
Great podcast.
Check it out.
All about the intersection of faith and sexuality.
Yeah.
That's what we sort of live in our podcast. But so Ben would go off and get his rocks off because he just needed to fill that hole, right? Like literally and figuratively. And then as soon as he was done, be filled with the shame and guilt and be like, God, I need you to forgive me. I'm so sorry. And come back and worship his ass off in church that week. And like,
you pick up, 10 chairs at once and
you become super Christian, right?
Yeah.
And we've reminisced that like that's how, even though I wasn't having secret sex, I'd feel the same whenever I do have porn and masturbate. Like that same shame was there. Like I'd feel like.
Does that come into your relationship even now though? Like sometimes where you get anxious or
not at all.
Oh wow.
Not at all.
Wow. That's nice.
It did for so long in my previous relationship. And when I felt like I'd gotten over it, the purity culture stuff. So we'd started dating and the shame was there and I was like, I have to be with this man for the rest of my life because of purity culture. Slowly that went away. We started the open relationship thing.
Yeah, that would.
Which I didn't really want to do. He wanted it. But convinced me, sold it to me somehow. I don't like. Basically, it was you've never had the chance to do it. Like, I cried and cried and cried in the lead up to making that decision. Just couldn't accept it. Finally accepted it. Made use of it. It's there now. Yeah. And again, it was almost like I'd gone backwards in my purity culture phase because I felt guilty after doing it. There was and it just wasn't nice. I didn't like it.
It's interesting.
Got out of it.
Yeah, go.
Sort of grew out of that purity culture stuff. Again, we broke up, was single for a little bit, just having a good old gay time, right? And not feeling guilty was the best thing.
Yeah,
this is just a way we connect. And it wasn't anymore about during the open relationship. I think where it was bad was that I was using it as a way to get back at him, like my ex, like, you did it, so now I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's where it felt wrong. Or you haven't wanted to sleep with me this week. I must be disgusting, so I'm going to use someone else to feel good about myself.
Yeah. I can see it'd be so hard.
And it's when sex becomes exploitative for any reason, that's when the guilt and shame comes in, I think. Like if you're using someone else to make yourself feel good, to get revenge at someone else. Like if you're using someone else sexually for purposes that tick a box like that, that's when it's exploitative and that's when it's wrong. And you feel that. When I was single and I no longer had that revenge, open relationship thing hanging over my head again, I was actually just enjoying sex. it finally felt right. Like it was like purity culture's dealt with. The open relationships shit that I hated was dealt with. Like there's no toxic relationship anymore. It's just me genuinely being a human being,
Yeah.
having sexual desires, connecting with someone at that deeper level.
Yeah.
And it was satisfying. And I didn't have that regret or that guilt or that shame for the first time ever. And it was just beautiful. It was bliss. Now in a relationship that's committed, and again, it's the same thing. Like there's neither of us are using each other. We are connecting. It's a deeper form of connection. And like there are times where I've been tempted in our relationship to use, like I'm feeling low and I'm like, gee, I would love to have sex with him right now just to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
And then I remind myself, no, you'll feel bad about that afterwards.
Interesting. It's, you see, I think trying to psychoanalyze myself a little bit is I think for me, there was because Amy and I went to all married and, but we kind of did other stuff beforehand, but we tried not to, but we didn't have sex until we were married. And
I went to, when you said, it's the first time this thought has ever come up in my mind in a long time. When you said, oh, we did other stuff. I went to a really Christian school.
yeah.
And there was one couple in the school we all knew were having anal sex because they'd talked about it because it was the way around having normal sex.
Yeah.
And so that when someone said we did other stuff, that's what I always think of.
No, we weren't having anal sex and stuff, but we'll feel each other up kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like, but
Who didn't?
we waited till, in fact, I gave Amy a third ring because her ring goes like engagement, wedding, and then the third ring. And the third ring was for her virginity. So I gave
Wow.
her, yeah, no, fucking, I'm what is it? I'm romantic or whatever. No, and I said something really crass to Amy this morning, actually. I said, oh, that's the one I gave you because you saved that pussy for me. And she was like, oh. And I was just like, sometimes I like to be as douchey as I can to get a reaction. And she's like, that's not very romantic. I was just like
I love
laughing.
the virginity ring.
Yeah. Anyway, so I gave it, it's like you meant to give it to him after like a year or something. Like it's like a commitment or something. I don't know. Anyway, when we first started having sex, there was definitely a divide between lustful sex and like making love. There was between like fucking and making love.
Yeah.
And I think for me, whenever we would do the fucking, I would feel a little guilty about that. Where I think over the years in our relationship, that line has kind of like blurred a little bit, and we can kind of experiment with whatever we're feeling at that time. And I think that's maybe what's helped the anxiety. But for me, I think it was the guilt or the anxiety was around the fact that I was engaging that part of my brain that was the lustful part of my brain that
you'd flicked that elastic band enough times to think it's wrong.
Yeah. So I think that's what was going on for me. But it's interesting because we're complex things, psychology and everything like that.
We never got to the New Testament verses, but I feel like this is a good segue.
Yeah, okay.
Because one of the things that I still think is the reason that the New Testament verses talk about homosexuality as being a sin is that what I was referencing before is when the times I feel I've felt guilty about sin is when it's me exploiting someone for sex. The times I felt guilty in my past relationship was when I was doing it for revenge or whatever. The times I've even like just in my loving relationship now, if I'm not feeling good about myself and I feel like, oh, maybe sex will fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm using someone else to make myself feel a certain way. Sex should never be exploitative because if you're using someone, it's not right. Like that's my morals just tell me that, right? That's not love. Using someone else for any reason, especially something intimate like sex. I feel like that should be used as a way to connect, not as a way to use someone to.
Do you feel the same if you do? Well, I'm assuming you do. But do you feel the same when you masturbate? Like if you're like, oh, I need to clear my head or whatever, and you
no, because it's me.
Yeah, you're using you. So you feel
I'm using myself.
Using you, but
I'll use myself.
Yeah, I'll use myself all day.
Yeah,
that makes sense actually.
Like I'm not exploiting someone else. I'm using my own body. like to feel good.
Yeah.
And the New Testament verses, the reason that I changed my mind on them was when you do accurate exegetical study on them, like not just like read the English translated Bible that we have, but when you actually do the study on the root words and the culture and everything, you realize this is not talking about loving same-sex relationships. This is talking about exploitative sex.
Well, it's a compound. Scholars think that maybe Paul had made up the word asakotomai. What about
Arsenokoitai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just means man bed, right?
Well, no, it's used in it is used in other writings outside of the Bible.
But wasn't it first?
No, so the first time it's used in the Bible, the only time it's used in the Bible was Paul.
Okay.
You look outside of the scriptures and the other times it's used, it's always referring to exploitative sexual relationships.
Yeah, interesting.
It's always referred to as like someone dominating someone else. Like it's Roman culture. It's like that whole, what's that movie? You know, is it 300 or 3?
Yeah, 300. Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
That's what I think of every time I think of these verses now, is I think of that movie. The way, you know, in the opening scene, how he's like, this muscular, powerful man, and there's the little tiny Twinkie boy running around.
No, I don't remember that at all. No. I'm going to have to watch
That's because you're not gay. I looked at it and I was like, oh.
That's a bear? That's a twink. Yeah.
This is hot.
Yeah, okay.
But like there's this like, or maybe it's not even the opening scene. It's a scene, I've seen it once.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking it was the hottest scene in there. There was this like, the bald guy, the hot guy.
I just remember the lady's boobs. You see, that's funny.
Oh!
I remember
Because you're straight, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Good
And
reminder.
I also remember the scenes where they're cutting off people's legs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
but besides
Not me.
Okay, all right, that's interesting.
I remember, and I saw this long before I learnt about these verses. But now I always think about them because I think about the hot guy that was the dom top, and the little Twinkie boy who was his. He just used this boy. He exploited this twink boy who was not strong enough to fight him off, was unable to push him away, unable to say no because of the power separation.
This makes sense in what you were saying before too, the using.
Yeah.
The using of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so you look at those verses, like the verses in Corinthians and Romans, where it uses that word arsenokoitai, and that's what it's referring to because it's in a Greco-Roman culture. That Roman...
Written in Greek, which is a language that Jesus didn't speak in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I got to go to Greece, Turkey, Israel when I was doing my degree in theology. And when we went to Greece and Turkey, they showed us around these ancient ruins and they showed us the sites. Like they're like the gay saunas that you'd see in modern times now, right? Where there were like rooms where men would have sex with other men.
Yeah, but
and there's the what's it called, the hole that you'd stick your dick through? What's it called? Glory hole.
Yeah.
That's such a gay term, and I can't believe I forgot it. There's the glory holes, and there was that. I was like, wow. There's that arsenokoitai.
Mm-hmm.
The only other New Testament reference is the word unnatural. So there's a spot where it references men sleeping with men as unnatural.
It says that about women as well, though. Or,
Yes,
or like
yeah.
it's
an unnatural relations. With, So the way we've interpreted it in the English translations, the English Bible, and the way we talk about it in church is that's referring to homosexuality in the broader sense. Number one, the only other time Paul uses that word for unnatural is in another passage where he says that it's unnatural for men to have long hair. Now, you grew up in Pentecostalism.
Yeah.
I grew up in Pentecostalism.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Joel Houston.
Joel Houston, leading worship from the inside out, right?
Yeah.
With his long hair.
Yeah.
That's so unnatural. No, we don't believe that.
Yeah.
Because culture's changed, and culture has changed on this issue of sexuality.
Yeah.
Like it's changed. And so that, but also that unnatural is referring to nature as in like what you first were. So
Yeah.
they were exchanging their nature, which they were in a heterosexual marriage or whatever,
Yeah.
and they were exchanging that nature and going and getting their rocks off with a dude.
Well, that's how I kind of started to interpret it at the end of after I realized that the Bible is probably full of a lot of bullshit that's not actually objectively true.
Yes.
But before that, I was like, well, hang on a sec. Maybe this is talking about people who are just so driven by lust that they're like, I'm gonna like rape this person, or I'm gonna have sex with this man because I can't control my lust.
Well, that's different to the arsenokoitai word.
Yeah, okay.
So that natural word and arsenokoitai, they're two separate.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Malakoi.
Maybe Paul was trying to get at. Is he was trying to get at like that? But again, this is
So maybe, but I think what he's really who knows? Number one, but there's so many ways you can go. Okay, there's other explanations, right? Like for me, my natural inclination is that I'm attracted to men. It would be unnatural for me, and it was unnatural for me to have sex with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
It was so unnatural. It did not feel right.
Yeah,
So like
that's true. You know,
my natural creation was I was created gay.
yeah,
I'm naturally gay
yeah,
by nature.
yeah,
I was nurtured to be straight
Yeah.
by the church.
yeah.
But my nature is gay, and it was I actually committed the sin that Paul's talking about in that passage by
so funny.
forcing myself to marry a woman and have sex with a woman.
That's so funny. Colin, I remember talking to Colin about boobs once, and he was like, "What do I do with them?"
I remember that in the
he goes,
episode.
"Do I push them out of the way?"
Yeah,
and I was
like-
just like, I was like, "Oh man." I was like, "You don't get it.
No.
Like, you don't get it." Like for me, I'm just like, "How do I get them in my face?"
No,
like,
I don't get that.
yeah, that's crazy.
At all.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say is that the word homosexual was only added into the Bible in 1946. Before that, it was like pedophile or like
What about
abuser.
Old
Like,
King James, does it have that?
no, not homosexual. 1946, the RSV. Have you heard this? You not heard this?
I know there's a documentary about it. But
Yeah,
I
it's a
thought
great
I
documentary.
thought a bit of that was a little bit.
You should get Rocky on the podcast. She would love to be on
I would
this.
love to be on the. I'd love
Oh,
to.
Rocky and Kathy Baldock. Get them both on the
Are
podcast.
they in Australia or?
No, they're American, but you'd get Americans all the
Americans,
time.
yeah.
Come on. Basically, in the archives of a university somewhere, I forget where it is, I'd do a disjustice by naming one. It's like one of the big ones. One of the big
Cambridge or something.
four. Something.
Yeah,
I think
something.
maybe. Oh, that sounds
Maybe.
right. Details, not as much
Yeah, yeah.
for me. But there's archives somewhere that they found the original meetings from the minutes when they translated the Bible, when they were the RSV team were translating the Revised Standard Version. That's what RSV stands for. Just like NIV, ESV, there's all different versions. The RSV, the team that were translating this new version, they decided that they were going to use the word homosexual because around that time, 1946, think about it, post-World War II, people are like, you know what, life's too short to... There was a rise in homosexuality.
Yeah. Well,
The world didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
The church, even more so. They're like, this doesn't seem right. This seems unnatural.
Yeah.
So they, in this version, use the word homosexual. Another person who took theology very seriously, studied it, was very educated, wrote a letter to this committee and said, hang on, I think you've done a disservice. This is going to be used as a holy weapon. That was the words he used. This will be used as a holy weapon against a whole community of people. What you are doing is wrong. This is a mistranslation.
Is this not the movie 1946?
Yeah, this is the movie
Yeah.
1946.
Okay,
It's a documentary.
I'll have to watch it.
It's a documentary of them going through all the archives.
Yeah.
But in summary, he writes this letter. They then write back to him. It's in the archives saying, you're right, we'll change it back. So the RSV, there's a small window where it was translated as homosexual and they changed it back to being abuser, pedophile, all the different words it was in those different verses.
Yeah.
Sadly, between the point of them releasing the RSV and the point of them changing it back, other versions like the NIV, New King James, ESV, things like that started coming out, and they took the RSV's lead, put it in there, and kept it because they weren't privy to this letters back and forth.
Interesting.
the movie's fantastic because it just reveals it, and it shows, hang on, if this word wasn't in there until 1946 and we put it in there to address a cultural anomaly, we just didn't know what to do with it culturally as the church, then how do we apply proper exegesis, proper hermeneutics to these passages, like what Matthew Vines in his book and other theologians and stuff have done, to go, okay, homosexuality isn't what the Bible says it is. Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to have to watch that documentary.
Do it. It's great.
There was a weird thing that happened to me recently where I noticed some internal homophobia in myself. And I'm like the most progressive motherfucker I know up in Queensland. You know, maybe not here in Melbourne, but up in Queensland, like I'm always the dude, I'm the most progressive in all my friends kind of thing. And
Queensland is a little bit backwards, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Texas of it's crazy. But you know, my son Atlas, he's 2. He loves watching like Rammstein and like heavy metal all the time. Like he loves it. I introduced him to it. He's obsessed with it. So I started to introduce some like Taylor Swift and like other things that are a bit lighter, and you know, not for a 2-year-old than Rammstein and Slipknot. And I'm trying to do this, and we started watching TikToks, and we watched makeup tutorials, and he really liked the makeup tutorials. And then he bought makeup. Yeah. And it was like Halloween makeup, but it was like just eyeshadow and lipstick. Yeah. And he brought it home and he wanted to do it with me. And I felt this thing inside me that was like, that's ew. Like, I don't want to do that with him. And I caught that in myself. Like, I'm like, oh shit. Oh, that's some internal homophobia. I didn't realize I fucking had like, I'm the kind of person I'll note it and go, okay, I don't want to, that's not right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you best believe we're doing makeup as soon as we can. Or whatever, you know? But it's like, it was interesting. Like even me, someone who I consider like, I push against that stuff as much as I can. Even I had, when my son came up to me with makeup, I was like, oh, like I had this feeling inside me. And I was like, damn, even after so many years, I'm still got these like internal things that I didn't realize I had. Yeah. Imagine if you're in a community where it's like openly talked about as there's a church in New South Wales called Echo Church, and I don't want you to edit this out. Okay. Echo Church is filth. Yeah. It is the scum between my toes. Yeah. They've blocked me on social media. Their senior pastor is the biggest homophobic bigot out there. I bet you he's disgusting. Yeah. Their church is disgusting. Yeah. Some of the things they say and do does not reflect Jesus Christ at all. Absolutely right? Not. They should not be a church. But their community, I understand homophobia in their community because it's being taught from him. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Like you're right. There's certain societies where you just know. Like, you expect it because they're brainwashed to be that way. Mm. It's sad, but it's and I still have an internalized homophobia. I think most gay couples or lesbian couples have I think most of the LGBTQ community struggle with internalized homophobia because we've been told it's so wrong for so long. Most gay parents, so those in society would say, oh, gay parents, they're teaching their kids to be gay, right? Like you couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah. Like I know. People act like it's like, or like you can convince a kid to be trans or something, like as if it's just like a hip thing to do. And it's like, as if it's a choice. No one's getting surgery. As if it's a choice, for fun. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, but crazy. Like most gay parents that I know, people who are gay and they have kids, or lesbians and they have kids, they struggle with this internalized homophobia that you just described with your son and the makeup. They struggle with it too. Yeah. When their boy wants to play with a doll, they're like, oh, no, what? Isn't that weird? And then they question, they're like, oh, hang on, this is what I've tried to fight my whole life for. It's weird. So the community thinks we're out here trying to, why would they want to be parents? Because they're just going to try and make more gays. No, we're scared of it too. Yeah, it's weird. It's something that it's like you're just taught these cultural norms, and you're like, yeah. The key is like, and that's you know, like a lot of people wouldn't say that. They wouldn't openly go like, oh yeah, my child came up with makeup and I felt uncomfortable, especially to my guest who you're gay, right? Yeah. But it's like, no, I think things like that should be talked about openly. You should be like, you know, I felt uncomfortable when my... And why? Yeah. Why? Because of society's norms, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's okay to feel uncomfortable like that. That's and it's not a mark on you. It's not a reflection of you as a person. Yeah, well, I hope not. The point is that you should be able to... Well, it's not, because most of the gay couples I know that have kids are still having those feelings. So like it's more of a mark on society and pressure.
and norms that we've just become so accustomed to that we've all got this internalized homophobia.
Yeah.
There are some that have externalized homophobia. That's worse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's probably not as insidious, but it is bad.
Yeah. At least you know where they stand. It's
Yeah.
it's like talking to someone who's like, overtly racist, like a Nick Fuentes or something, versus someone who's, well, even Nick Fuentes isn't probably, like, there's probably people more overt than him, but like someone who's overtly racist, I can have a conversation with because I can talk to them about their silliness. But like someone who's like coding it and like hiding it and like using dog whistles and stuff, that's when I will rip on them. But
Well, this pastor of that church that I talked about,
okay, what's his name?
I don't know if I should say his name.
Okay, but what's the church?
Well, I
called?
said the church's name already, haven't
Yeah.
I? Martin Cedra is his name.
Martin Cedra. Okay.
Filth.
Yeah.
He's encouraged people to like spit on gay couples that are holding hands. Like it's not okay.
When
right?
talking around my friend Colin, when Colin went to a pastor and he told them that he was gay, I'm not sure if he caught this in the interview. I'm not sure if he wasn't even in the interview, but he said, "But don't worry, I've told myself that I'd kill myself before I ever came out of the closet." And then he went, "Oh, good."
I heard that in his episode. Yeah, that's
Good. Like,
Yeah.
in what?
Why would you even consider that suicide, someone harming themselves, is okay? Right? Like it.
And we really do have to wrap up, but I want to just kind of mention that your story does involve a suicide attempt, and you were saved from that. And you talk a little bit about this on your podcast, Queerfully Made, and I recommend people go check it out. It's awesome. There's also, you were on the project, or the project did a story on you that was really good as well.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the project.
Oh, yeah. Is it gone?
Yeah, they took it off TV, but they've still got a social media account.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Someone, I don't know who inherited
the
login or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone's still got it, and someone's still posting, but they don't have a TV show anymore.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's so funny.
That's awesome. That's so good.
And they've been a little bit more reckless, I think, because of that.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, okay, I can say what I want because it's behind closed.
Yeah.
No one knows who it is.
I do social media management, and some of the stuff my boss has posted on behalf of accounts is so like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, but it's like some of our accounts are a little edgy, that ones we take care of. So I'm like, you've got to be a little bit, like the stuff he does is like he roasts.
The accounts that take like Jetstar, whoever Jetstar have as their social media managers,
Yeah.
all power to them. They're very good.
Okay.
They're just wild.
I've got 4 questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. And these
Hit
can
me.
be quick. Well, actually, no, 3. But Queerfully Made podcast every 2 weeks. So go check that out. Link will be in the description. But also, this is a question I ask a lot of guests. What is the most plausibly true religion that you don't believe in?
Plausibly true religion that I don't believe in. Christianity.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Pentecostalism, Christianity.
Okay, all right, interesting. You see, a lot of people take the easy. A lot of people who don't. I'm not sure what your beliefs are, but a lot of people who don't believe in God anymore will actually say like Buddhism to get out of the God thing, because like a lot of non-theistic. Yeah,
I think it's harder to. Well, maybe it's my conditioning. But
Yeah.
I think it's harder to believe in Buddhism than it is to believe in Christianity.
you know, Tim Whitaker, he's a Christian. He runs the New Evangelicals. Had him on the podcast.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
too.
you know,
Yeah, I love him.
Great
I love
guy.
his content.
amazing dude. He on the podcast, he literally said to me, I said, "Well, then why do you believe in God?" And he goes, "Conditioned. I was just brought up to believe it. I was brainwashed." Like, no, he said something like that brainwashed, or like, and I was just like, "Dude,
Yep.
that is the most honest thing anyone's ever fucking said on TV."
He's
That
great.
is crazy. That honestly did more to convince me of the truth of Christianity than any fucking apologist ever. Because I was like, this dude is actually being real. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. He's like, I just care about loving people, and I just care about like how people love other people and if they love Jesus. And I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. So great. Next question. What do you wish the anti-LGBT Christians would realize? The people like that
they're
guy.
all bisexual.
You know, do you wish you're bi? I kind of sometimes I'm like, man,
I think we're all bi.
Do you reckon?
No, I'm not.
Do you,
That's a
if there's
wild
like
statement.
actually, I asked.
No, I don't. I'm 100% gay. But I think
Do you
that...
think you're not like 99? Like, do you think have you ever?
No,
found anyone attractive?
no.
wow.
Absolutely. No. And having been married to a woman, I know that I'm 100% gay.
Wow.
As soon as I held a dick in my hand, put a dick in my mouth and my ass, you're going to cut this out.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
I knew I was home.
I don't think I would even call myself 100% straight. I don't think so.
But those people who say that homosexuality is a choice,
Oh yeah, it's saying
they're
something about them.
bisexual.
It's
Because
saying
if they're saying that I'm choosing to be gay, then they're choosing to be straight.
It's like tell.
So technically, we're all bisexual. If they believe that, we're all bisexual. They're choosing to be straight. I'm choosing to be gay. Hey, just come and choose to be gay for a bit.
yeah,
Hey,
that's so interesting. Okay, last question. A bit more of a serious one, but what would you tell your younger self?
oh, I love this question because I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay, I've never seen it, but I know a lot of guys.
Oh, you're a homophobe.
I just don't.
You're a homophobic prick.
I mainly the way I watch stuff is on my second monitor as I'm doing mindless tasks at work.
Okay.
So I don't really actually watch. I listen. And
So
it's mainly
RuPaul's
debates.
Drag Race
Yeah.
was like when I first came out, a friend of mine introduced me to it, and it did a whole lot of healing in my soul
Okay.
to watch it. Because there's people from all walks of life who are drag queens that enter this competition. It's a reality show, but you get to hear a little bit about the stories. There's a lot of ex-Christians or people who are still Christians and drag queens and navigating that. And they open up about this story on it. So it was really healing for me to see this feminine side that I'd always squashed. Even just the way I'm crossing my leg right now, I never cross my leg like this. And even though I find this actually more comfortable to cross my leg like this,
Yeah.
right? And anytime I would do this before I came out, I'd quickly correct myself to this.
It's interesting. That's so funny.
Right?
It's so funny.
So like the feminine side I'd always squashed in my life. And watching RuPaul's Drag Race helped me to like see these men dressing up as women. And it was like this, oh my goodness. So you should watch it. Start with season 6, I think it is.
Okay. All right. I'll
With your
I'll
wife.
watch
Your
it.
wife will love it.
Okay. Well, she's into musicals, so that tells you anything.
Oh! Why have I not met your wife?
she flew-
that's my life.
She flew to Sydney, I think, 8 times when she had no job. She was on like Centrelink 8 times over a few years to see Wicked, just to see Wicked because she loved it so much. But you
Is your
guys
wife
probably-
in Melbourne right now?
Yeah. She's
Oh, why are we not having dinner or something?
yeah,
What's
we should.
going on?
No,
Oh, musical theatre is my like second love language.
Yeah. Book of Mormon, obviously. you've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
Just quickly before you finish your
I was the Lion in The Wizard of Oz, and I was
really?
Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's
recently, like the just community theatre.
That's so cool.
So the reason I love the question is because RuPaul always asks like the final 4 or 5. She pulls up a picture of them at like they're young, like a young picture of them, like 3 or 4, and says, "What would you say to this person?" And they always cry, and it's always this beautiful thing. And I always think, I wonder, like every time she asks it, I cry at their responses because they're standing on a stage dressed as a woman, which is something that younger self never thought would have been possible. And as I think about it, every time she asks that question, I think about, oh, what would I tell myself now? Like we're a season in, we're a new season in, there's something different. And I always think back to little young Aaron who was brought up across the road from his church that he attended. We would walk to church literally, you open our front door, our church was there.
Yeah.
And I basically, if I wasn't at home, I was at church doing something. Brought up in church. Little Aaron did not think that being gay was allowed, was possible, that he could live his life as a gay man. And so I would say to younger me that come out. When you are 14 or 13 and your mum says you'll have to live somewhere else, if you come out. Because someone will take you in.
That is.
And your life, you won't bring other people into the harm along the way. You'll be happier. You'll be free, finally. I wish younger Aaron would embrace that.
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he just didn't see it. And to be honest, I wouldn't be doing a podcast like this if it wasn't for my story, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
My trauma has some sort of benefit.
That's good. Well, Aaron, thank you so much. Your Instagram is Pastor Aaron.
PS Aaron Kelly.
Aaron,
They might have stripped my credentials, but they can't take the PS off my Instagram.
True. I had someone who was student Dr. Ben, and then they changed to family Dr. Ben. So maybe you can change to ex pastor. You should keep it.
I'm
Just keep
keeping it.
Yeah,
They're not allowed to.
Yeah.
I'm still a pastor.
Yeah, exactly.
Pastor of something.
Yeah. Pastor sauce.
Yes.
That's what my stupid friends used to always say. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for letting us use the set of Queerly Made.
Mate, it doesn't look like the set of Queerly
No,
Made.
we've
There's
changed up a
nowhere
little bit.
near as many gay things.
Yeah, well, we should have added some gay things. We did get gay drinks. So I asked you what's the gayest drink that we can get, and I tried. It's one of the ones you suggested.
Anything low calorie is a gay drink.
Yeah.
The bottoms need to keep a clear bowel.
Yeah.
You know, like
So no,
so we drink clear drinks.
so no fiber and
Yeah, we don't. We just like no carbs, no sugar, no gluten.
yeah.
Great drink for us bottoms.
It actually is pretty good.
It was yum.
Yeah, it is good.
Ampersand. I'd get on it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's nice. But thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, go check out your podcast, and it's been an absolute pleasure. And this is another God moment, everyone. God moment. Another Satan moment. I reached out to you in 2014? No, not 2014.
2024. Yeah.
And you only got back to me because it went into
message requests.
And only got back to me this week when I was flying to Melbourne. So I was just like, no way.
That
I'm
is-
coming to,
you
that's
were
a
already
Satan
coming
moment
here.
right there. That's a Satan moment or a God moment.
God moment, divine intervention, divine appointment. It's one of those things.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Aaron.
Or it just could be,
Coincidence?
it was coincidence, universe.
Yeah.
It's meant to happen.
Well, that's what I actually believe, but I was just being...
Yeah. Like if it was in 2024, I would have said yes, but we would have been on Zoom or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. wouldn't have been as good.
Better in person.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me here. It's lovely.